Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I knew it.
How many have been?
I know you will pass all the door. You're not going to make some increases. I will go back. You'll pretend as if I've not been here before.
Profile
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when I'm not coming back, you're not be excited. Hi, Kiki. Do you get
How many?
it?
Please confirm.
If you don't pass, I'll send you out. I cannot send anybody out. So let's do this. Today's going to be a great day. We're going to have a good time at this event. We're about to create an experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiki! You see, life is fun when everyone is happy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this spectacular day. We're about to create an experience in this house of Sota at 10. But first, before I say too much, you guys look amazing. Please can you put your hands together for yourselves for looking so stunning. If you know you're out of arts and you look good, clap for yourself.
Wait a minute,
Honey, you're not clapping. Why? Because front is pretty. You know how things. Can I have it?
Hello.
Why don't you size it? It's small. Okay, you got the dress. Okay, now we're going to throw straight like that. So I'll give you this dress. What's your name, man? It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Mount that camera.
So I'll give you my dress and then give you the skirt. Deal?
Yes.
Deal? You are there now. Don't not gonna show me what they use to do for younger people. Because you can't say that in Korean constitution now feel like I say having your engagement. Mommy from your region. We're gonna again, if you think you look spectacular today, please can we put our hands there for ourselves. Thank you very much. We have some gentlemen from the front row downstairs. Welcome to this spectacular event. So it's House of Sota and 10. It's a whole decade of creative excellence. The whole decade of spreading the good gospel according to African fashion. For one and only, Tamala. Yes!
You guys should come inside.
10
years of excellence, 10 years of service, 10 years of creating and adding value, 10 years of excellence. If you're excited, please put your hands together for yourselves.
Sometimes kind of value the hard work that goes into a lot of things. And with every business comes different challenges. And regardless of the challenges that we face sometimes, this brand has been able to withstand that for 10 good years. I've had the opportunity of working with the brand a few times, and one thing that I will tell you is, when we talk of quality and authenticity, these are two things that this brand doesn't joke with. And in the room today, we're going to have beautiful conversations, around fashion, around culture, around collaboration, around talent, expansion. What are the things that we need to do? How do we do them? When do we do them? All these conversations will all come into one place today, and the entirety of this is experiencing this brand called House of Sota. Please, one more time, if your hands are not too busy, because we are going to be clapping a lot today. I like you very clapping. Please let's put hands together for House of Sota for doing such a great job. 10 full years.
As rightly said, during the course of today's event, we're going to have panel sessions, we're going to have show, we're going to have some special performances here on stage. And all have been put in place to ensure that you have a beautiful time throughout the duration of your stay here. So just in case you need anything as we continue, I'd like you to know that this is a standing very close to where you're seated to ensure that everybody's completely attending to. So possibly what you need to do to the ladies or the ladies in the toilet to take a photo is also. It's also a very safe environment, but the safe facilities we want to encourage you to keep everything you consider valuable. So that we don't have cause to leave the announcement and the loss of anything later. As with the somebody saw this one, and then there's some soup, and your bag is part of the story.
I mean, looks like their own bag.
So please, Danny James. It promises to be a wonderful show, promises to be beautiful, promises to be mind-blowing and amazing. If you don't mind, take a look at your new and see what
You're welcome. Very good. Now let's jump right into it. We're going to have a few great conversations. But before we get to that point, let's have a proper welcome address from the co-founder of BHA. Please be as I welcome to the stage Ogechukwu Ogujiofo. He's going to give us the welcome address as we're celebrating House of Sota's 10 years milestone.
Can we make you feel welcome?
Today is the day of declaration. A declaration that culture has value. A declaration that creativity has power. And a declaration that what we carry as a people is no longer just identity, but currency. We are gathered here today to celebrate 10 years of remarkable achievements in the House of Sota, a brand that has not just designed garments, but has designed perception. And through its perception and partnership with Black History and Lifestyle Awards, we are witnessing something even deeper and greater. A platform that does not just applaud excellence, but documents it, preserves it, and projects it to the world. You see, culture for a long time was something we just celebrated quietly, something we practiced locally, something we inherited and did not always monetize. But today, that story is about to change. Today, culture is no longer just about heritage, it is capital. Fashion, which is what we wear, is not just anything. It is one of the most powerful expressions of truth. Because when you wear culture, you don't just represent it, you amplify it. And for 10 years, House of Sota has taken African identity, our colors, our textures, our stories, and elevated them into global language. Not as costume, but as class. Not as tradition alone, but as luxury, elegance, and power. And when the world begins to wear what you create, they are not just admiring you, they are buying into your narrative. And that is where culture becomes currency. But let's go a little bit deeper. Because culture alone is not enough. We've always had culture. We are now just about to begin building. We begin to build ownership. Ownership of our designs. Ownership of our stories. Ownership of our platforms. Because if you don't own your culture, you will perform it. But somehow, other people will profit from it. What House of Sota represents is discipline, consistency, and vision. The understanding that creativity must be structured before it can become sustainable. That passion must be refined before it can become profitable. That culture must be organized before it can become currency. And then, that is influence. Because in today's world, influence is the highest form of currency. Not just as money, but mind shape. The power to shape how people see themselves, how they dress, and how they dream. Platforms like the Black History and lifestyle awards are doing exactly that. They are shaping tests, defining standards, and elevating Black excellence across Africa and the diaspora. And let me say this clearly. To influence culture is to influence the future. And those who influence the future must also own its rewards. So as we celebrate 10 years of excellence tonight, or today, we must also look ahead. The next decade cannot just be about applause. It must be about expression. It must be about expansion of African brands into global markets, expansion of our narratives into global consciousness, expansion of our ownership into global wealth. We must project what we create, we must care what we build, we must collaborate across borders, Africa and the diaspora, as one powerful cultural force. Because the world is watching. But the important thing is, the world is also buying. So let us not just wear our culture beautifully, let us build it boldly. Let us not just celebrate our culture on stage like this. Let us structure it, get in and secure it. And let us ensure that wherever our culture goes, anywhere in the world, its value, its ownership, and its wealth returns home to we, the creators. Thank you, and welcome.
Thank you so much for that very, very beautiful welcome remark, taking us through the beauty of our culture and how we can project it through fashion. The House of Sota has been doing this for 10 years, and we're very proud of the House of Sota. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are still having a beautiful time this afternoon. I can see that everybody looks a bit serious right now, and we just want to lighten the room a bit. I think we have some things to give out based on the participation in this small activity. If you participate in this small activity that you're about to run right now, you stand the chance of winning for yourself a brand new, never been used before. Alright, I'm going to do a test run of this particular activity with my colleagues so that you can see how it works. And we'll take it on from there. I'm going to be asking general questions about anything and everything. And during the course of interaction, certain things have to be avoided. For example, when you're answering me, you have to avoid the following. Don't say yes, I need the second mic, please. Don't say no. Don't say don't say no. Don't say yes, don't say no, don't say don't say don't say of course, don't say yeah. I must answer compulsorily, verbally, and in English language. I'll do a test from my colleagues so you can see how it works, and anybody that is interested can try to get my attention, and I'll let you know. And we'll do this together. General questions about anything and everything. Don't say yes, no, of course, yeah. I must answer compulsorily, verbally, and in English language. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
You're very good.
I'm very good.
What's your name?
Toby.
Your name is what?
Toby.
Toby what?
Toby, I will listen.
Your surname is Awolisi.
You're correct.
I'm correct, right?
You're correct.
Are you having fun today?
I am.
You are celebrating the House of Sota at 10. How do you feel?
Good.
You feel good?
I do.
You do?
I do.
You live in Lagos?
I do.
You live in Lagos?
Yes, I do.
There's anybody that thinks that she's doing this for 60 seconds? Anybody? Anybody? But I think they tried. So anybody else? Do you have any hand in the air? Alright. How are you doing?
Very good.
What's your name? Okay, you know the rules. Don't say yes, no, Don't say yes, no, of course, yeah. You must answer compulsory, verbally, and in English language. How are you doing?
Good.
What's your name again?
Dr. Fita Jawali.
Doctor.
Definitely.
Are you a medical doctor?
Yeah.
Yes. You're so passionate about the medical profession. You don't know what it is. I'm sorry, my brother. Alright. Yes, I'm coming to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You know the rules don't say yes, no, and of course, yeah, you must answer compulsorily verbally and in English language. What's your name?
My name is Moyin.
Your name is what?
Moyin.
Well, are you a fashion entrepreneur?
I'm not a fashion entrepreneur.
Or you're a fashion enthusiast?
Of course I am.
Of course.
Of course.
And of course, I like our voice. I will give her another chance. She's our first one. Let's continue. This was 60 seconds. So say yes, no, and of course, yeah. You must answer compulsorily, verbally, and in English language. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Alright, you said you're a fashion enthusiast.
I am a fashion enthusiast.
You love fashion.
I do love fashion.
You love fashion.
I do.
What's your name again?
Moyin.
Moyin.
Aideen.
Are you Dennis or Sono?
Of course.
Of course.
Yes, well done. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Is your name Moyin also?
Negative.
Don't you think we did it? You said your name is what?
My name is Kismat.
Kismat.
Absolutely.
What's the name from?
Ogun State.
Ogun State.
Absolutely.
And your name is what?
Kismat.
Kismat.
Affirmative.
It's nice meeting you.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you too.
You want football?
Not at all.
You don't.
Not at all.
Is there any sport you enjoy?
Not at all.
So you don't like sport at all?
Negative.
You are negative about it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right?
Absolutely.
I swear.
So you say absolutely right?
Absolutely.
You live in Lagos. You
Absolutely.
live on the island.
Not at all.
You stay on the mainland. So
Absolutely.
you came from the mainland to the island.
Affirmative.
Affirmative, right?
Affirmative.
Is somebody correct the line for that? What's your name? Somebody can affirmative. Affirmative. Negative. Negative. Yeah, affirmative. What's all that? Please put your hands together for her. We'll take two more. And then we want to. Yes. All right. Beautiful. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's your name?
My name is Osas.
Osas.
Yes.
Yes. Who else? I saw one hand. Okay, one lady is there. I'll take it up from that point. Yes. From here, we are going to move into a very, very important conversation. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What's your name?
Precious.
Precious.
That's my name.
Precious what?
Balogun.
Balogun.
That's my name.
Your name is Precious Balogun.
Absolutely.
Wow. You live in Nigeria.
I do not.
So you came all the way to Nigeria.
Often. I do.
So you love Nigeria.
I do.
You do.
I do love Nigeria.
Alright. Do you speak Yoruba?
I understand Yoruba.
But you can't speak.
Not really.
Not really, right?
Not really.
Do you enjoy music?
I like music.
You love fashion also.
I like fashion as well.
Are you a fashion person?
I consider myself so.
You consider yourself so?
I do.
You do.
I do.
So you don't want to say yes.
Definitely.
You said not to.
You said I should not do what?
You said not to say it.
Not to say what?
The words.
Please put your hands together for yourself.
Everybody you walk like that.
Nigeria is a very beautiful place. I love Nigeria so much. Nigeria is amazing. There's some challenges, but we'll be fine. One thing I can say authoritatively is that women are amazing people. Women are powerful, women are wonderful, women are beautiful. Let's assume as a man just got a car, and as we're cruising on the streets of Lagos, suddenly somebody hits your car from behind.
Yes.
Naturally, as a man, we will come out of the car and we will scream at the person that hit you. See what you have done! It's because the person that hit you is a man like yourself. Let's assume you are driving that same car, under the same circumstances, on the same road, and somebody hits that same car from behind. And naturally, as you come out normally to say, what is the meaning of this? A lady just comes out of the car that hit you and she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. As a man, you say, no. It's happened to everybody. It's one of those things. I just need to check if I'm fine. Are you okay? God will fight for you. say that in Nigeria today, you want to get a car, you have only 3 options. Option number 1, Tiago, what we call brand new. Brand new is perfect. Second type of cars, if any use imported cars, the ones in local balance we call what now? Tokumo cars are fantastic. The third type of cars are Nigerian used cars. Nigerian used cars are good, depending on the Nigerian can use it. A friend of mine wanted to get a car, so I followed him to where there were 7 cars. My guy, I want that. He said we have. Which one do you have? He said we have brand new. He said okay. We have Nigerian, we have Tokumo. He said okay. We have Nigerian news. He said okay. And I said we have another special one. I said because of that one. He said it's a Nigerian news Tokumo. I said what is the name? He said it's a Nigerian news car. There's not a Nigerian that used it. I said where is the person from? He said from Togo. I said tell him more about the car. He said you will love it. The person that uses it will not use it anyhow. He does always go from his house to his work, and from his work to his house. And I asked, where is his work? He said, okay. And I said, where is his house? He said, Akutu. He said, so he goes from the bed to Akutu. And how often does he go to work? He said, every day, including Saturdays and Sundays. How long has he been using the car for? He said, only 15 years. When I checked the mileage, I saw 6 million kilometers. He said, don't worry, we clear that daddy up. That was not the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I said, well, I bring the key. That was the first time I had. I saw one car and a bunch of keys. Key to start the car, you go from key to open the key. Key for driver's side, one for key for passenger side. Even the bonnet of the car had key. And I asked him, on this bunch, which one will start the car? He said, your mind will tell you. Out of curiosity, we put one of the keys to start the car, the car started like a normal car. When we want to listen, the wiper started like, we want to wipe up, the window started like, we want to radio, all the glasses one now. You open the boot, the boot open. When we close the boot, all the front was open, we said, what happened to you? That is how we engaged the car. We put it on drive, the car was going like a normal car. They did not tell us the car cannot reverse. After 7 hours, we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we are going to have the next item on the program. And I'd like to invite and welcome a very distinguished personality who is going to be speaking on export opportunities within the creative and fashion industries, promoting Nigerian products globally, economic growth, culture, trade, and innovation. To speak with us this morning, this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, is the Director, Market Access, Nigeria Export Promotion Council. Please put your hands together for London as he comes forward to speak. Can we sustain the applause for him to the next ladies and gentlemen? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. I don't know if you have established the protocol. Don't worry. So I don't know if you established the protocol. The new government will like to have the protocols, but if not, or whatever, I stand for whatever introduction. My name is today for London, so I work with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. I'm the Director of Access. I am here. So I'm here representing the AEC, that's the Executive Director, so Chief Executive Services. The reason being here is to really celebrate this particular icon, this is Shadi Alu, Black History, Lifetime Award, Nigeria, and the House of Sota, and the House of Sota. And if you say today is a speech making day, yeah, it's really what it is. But as a government official, I need to present the official address. And that is to show what we do as a council. And looking around, I discovered that the demographic we have here, about 80% are youths. That is one of the things that we also promote. We have to have a unit for women and youths. And for the creative industry, it's also one of the very critical area in the non-export promotion and development of Nigeria. So what we are doing here today is realizing the economic diversification of the country to increase the volume and value of Nigerian exports. The creative art is really growing, and we really need to things. So I'll quickly go to my speech. Although it's a very long speech, but I try as much as possible to abridge it so that it will not take my time. Once again, I was a great pleasure to address this distinguished background in the Malak organized by the Black History and National Award, BHNA. When your heart to speak at this event theme, culture and currency, the Sota decades and future of global exchange. We marveled at the foresight and the consistency behind the scene and the efforts of BNA. This is not the first time we are attending, this type of event, this type of the third edition that we are attending. Efforts of BHNA that has materialized in the establishment of the House of Sota, a very, very typical tool for industrializing and commercializing Nigerian cultural assets. Permit me to commend Black History Style Award and House of Sota for sustaining the pace in the past decade and for pushing further to explore initiatives such as peace summits to promote cultural diplomacy, enterprise development, and bilateral trade relations among Nigerians and between Nigeria and some other countries, especially the United States of America. Innovation, technology, creativity, and services. Nations have continued to distribute themselves through unique cultural heritage, which have shown growing relevance of economic exchange and value. Nigeria possesses enormous competitive advantage with our rich and diverse blend of cultural heritage that transcends centuries. Our talented, tech-savvy, and creative, youthful population that have shown resilience through the entrepreneurial spirit is a partisan driving force in the nation's push to promote cultural exchange as a sustainable means of economic expansion. As we celebrate this prestigious House of Sota, 10 years of continuity transformation and industrialization of the agricultural assets. Precisely the textile industry, the Nigeria Promotion Council congratulates the founder of this milestone and expresses his commitment to supporting his efforts in promoting export-ready contemporary fashion pieces. Over the years, the Council has continued to champion initiatives and programs aimed at expanding its market access for Nigerian products and services, supporting MSMEs, enhancing export competitiveness, and increasing foreign exchange earnings combination. As we deepen trade ties and explore for economic expansion in the countries of the world, I want to remind stakeholders that SMEs will look opportunities presented by the African Group of Enterprise, because we believe that also works in the US, and one of the vital trade agreements we are leveraging is the African Growth Opportunity Act. The Council is also committed to ensuring that Nigeria emerges as a competitive player in the US market. The Council has embarked on a lot of initiatives to support SMEs, but one of the things we experience is the issue of product rejection. So that's why we've embarked on enormous certification of products. You have what you call the GCP, you have the halal, you have the FDA, so the Council has done a lot of that. We also support women too by giving them export development funds for them to grow their businesses. And like I said before, I said we have a women and youth business in fact, we also encourage them, we support them, and we take them to fairs, fashion exhibitions and show all over the world. So I will not waste time by completing the speech, but to just express the commitment of the Council to partner with House of Sota in growing this particular sector of the Nigerian economy, and to also encourage others to be whatever the Council is doing for them to promote their businesses. Thank you very much, everybody, and God bless you.
Please, one more time, open and ask the Reverend Mr. Associate with your speech.
So, as I'm putting on my speech, of course, I'm so glad I got to see Madam Chadwick. Oh, here she is. Thank you very much for organizing this great event, and congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. for inviting us here this afternoon. And the theme of the summit is something that particularly resonates with us at the conversation. We understand that both the United States and Nigeria are increasingly recognizing that culture is not only a sense of identity and pride, but also a powerful driver of innovation, investments, jobs, and economic growth. This year alone, PwC estimates that Nigeria's entertainment and media revenue will reach $4.9 billion, making it the fastest growing market on the continent. Today's summit also comes at a particularly pivotal time for us in the United States because we're marking a remarkable milestone, 250 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. We're calling our year-long celebration Freedom 250, and it's a moment not only to reflect on America's journey for the past 250 years, but also a launch pad for the next 250 years of American global engagements. Nigeria holds a special place in that story. For more than 6 decades since Nigeria's independence, the U.S. and Nigeria have been working side by side to expand economic opportunity and support shared prosperity for our people. The culture and creative sectors have offered a clear example of this momentum. From film to music to literature, fashion, content creation, Nigerian creatives are shaping pop culture around the world, and partnerships with the United States are helping to expand those opportunities. One example is the music industry. Some of Nigeria's biggest music stars have signed with major American labels. Burna Boy with Warner Music and Atlantic Records, Asake with Gamma, Fireboy with Empire. These partnerships with American record labels provide international distribution, marketing, and touring support that have taken Afrobeats from Lagos to the world. And we've also seen Nigerian artists earning recognition at major award shows across the United States. And it's not just live performances. Nigerian music, films, skits, podcasts, they're all streaming every day on US platforms. YouTube, Apple Music, Instagram, Facebook, all of these American platforms are helping to connect Nigerian creators with the hundreds of millions of streamers worldwide. And today, our economic and cultural partnership continues to be stronger than ever. My colleague mentioned the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which I'm pleased to share was re-signed by President Donald Trump just earlier this year. This AGOA, as it's called, is an opportunity particularly for those in the creative industry, textiles, fashions, to be able to export their goods to the United States with reduced tariffs. We have had a long history of cultural partnership, economic partnership, particularly on the economic side. Our trade in goods and services hit $15 billion last year in 2025. And our further ties are strengthened by the vibrant Nigerian diaspora, with more than 750,000 people living in the United States who claim Nigerian descent. These people are entrepreneurs, scholars, artists, professionals, who all contribute to growing American excellence. We have a long history of supporting Nigeria's creative sectors, and in particular bringing U.S. creatives to join all of the wonderful festivals and partnerships that are happening here on the continent. In closing, I want to just talk about how I'm so pleased that we are bringing Americans, and I know Madam Sade has also, in partnership with Rolling Stone, brought another American here to join in these festivities. We hope that this will continue our partnership, will work further with you in the future to ensure that American and Nigerian creatives continue to work together, expand, and build in the amazing ecosystem that is here in Nigeria. Thank you.
She deserves a better round of applause. Can we make it louder?
I'm going to say it louder. while we discuss the people situation. I like the color. It will look good on me. I mean, if you come to the earrings too, no, I always switch with her. No, because I don't let me go naked. Mom, you don't go without telling me that you are going. Don't do it too. Security, let me mark her face.
That was indeed very beautiful, and we would like you all to please put your hands together for her one more time. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
We're about to end the panel session. We're going to be having our first conversation. But before we do that, we're thinking let's shake up the room a little bit one more time.
Yes, sir.
If you are from Lagos, Lagos Indigi, let me see your hands up. You are from Lagos. I am from Lagos. Fantastic.
You are from, it's not like you were born in Lagos.
From, very good. Now, if you lived in Lagos for at least 10 years, let me see your hands up. For at least 10 years, you lived in Lagos. Fantastic. If you lived in Lagos for at least 5 years, let me see your hands up. 5 years. Okay, so 2 years. 1 year. We just enter. That's 1 week to 1 year. You just become. Welcome to the program. Where are you? You look like it. What were you living before? What were you living before? Hey, I saw it. Do you know how I know from your eyeshadow? I'm not even joking. People that live in America, they tone down their eyeshadow. Straight facts. And that's why when you travel and we're going to have makeup done, you see the way they do our makeup, always very mild. So when I saw the mild brows, the eyeshadow, the lipstick, I know that you are from there. You see, there's a way there's skits in Lagos. You can't do mild foundation in Lagos. It's because you came in a car to the venue, right? You came in a car. You're going to live in a car. But those that will go to the bus stop first, there's a way the foundation will leave you behind. I think it will wash down. Now, it's not even about the products, the primer, the foundation, whatnot. It is the weather, very humid. I don't know, there's a way you feel hot, you're looking for vibes. Let me just make comparison. There's a way you also feel hot, you're like, let me remove my wig. Then there's a way you feel hot, you're like, let me remove my dress. It's in stages, one step at a time. But then, before we forget, we all went to school, obviously, and we all know A to Z. Okay, sorry, I was you. We all went to school. Oh, I see my good friend. Hey, Nako. How are you doing today? Such a signature with that cap. I can never miss it. But why are you always wearing cap? Let me see your hairline. Don't worry. Oh, there you go. Okay, so let's try out how well you know Lagos. How well do you know Lagos? Every area in Lagos is on the alphabet table. From A to Z, there's one area somewhere. So, now let's start with A. Give me one area in Lagos.
Somebody said that there is no way that starts with letter A. What did you say?
Alakere.
He said Ajegule.
Ajegule.
Letter A.
Ajegule. I'm not sure.
Akute.
What did you say?
Akute.
Akute.
Where are you from?
Akute.
Daddy. Ajambadi. Wow. All school. Look at all the government school, Daddy. But that Alausa, that is the government guy.
Yes.
Where else?
Ayobo.
This is how.
Yo.
If you put it on Google Map now, you are 60 weeks away. That is Alagbado. What did you say?
Alakere. Alaka.
Let's move to another letter.
Oh yeah, B, L to B.
There is no.
Bonnie Thomas. Bariga.
What did you say? Somebody said Bogide.
Bodija. And you guys Ibadan.
Bogide. Letter B.
Bega.
What did you say?
Badagry is in Lagos State. Banana Island.
That's my neighbor. How are you? As you said, clock it now.
Yeah. Bariga. Yes,
As you said, clock it now. Somebody was doing like this. It's not the truth.
No, it's not like that.
It's just true.
Bola Toshodi, Anthony Mawolero. I know that.
Alright, I promise you that there is no way that starts with letter C.
C.
Coste.
Coste.
Eh? CMS.
CMS.
Letter C.
Chevron.
If somebody doesn't say, who says
Select.
Hands up to you.
But when you say, are you really live? You are Yabate.
I went for an event and I asked the same question.
Yeah.
He said, then when I start with letter C, the person mentioned 3 post stop again. The person says, select the Shamai 2. I said, this one used to be a number 2.
You see? Okay, so D.
Dọ̀gbẹ́mú.
What's this?
Seleaguda. Kappa Oshodi.
Black Collector.
No, we are already going to interior. Let's go back outside.
Alright.
Let's go back outside.
Is there another letter?
D. Dọ̀gbẹ́mú Dolphin. I like your choice with Chevron, Dolphin.
Who said that? Who said that?
What did you say?
He said that label.
Dalemo. Where's Dalemo?
What did you say? Is it like that this side?
At this side.
You are correct.
That's why I sit on the back side. At this side, not long. Okay, so E. Elegushi, I know you.
Somebody said express road.
Say. Etiosa.
Letter E.
Epe.
Ẹlẹ́kọ̀.
Ebute Meta.
Ejigbo.
Where? Eleko.
Ejigbo.
Elegance. So now F. Pasta.
What did you say?
Fagbomo.
Badeyi.
Fagba. You see Fagba, àwọn àgbàlagbà ló wà ní. Àbí Fagba, big areas in Lagos. I love it. If you see EFG, so G now.
Who said Deride? Deride. Where is Deride?
I've never heard of it.
Where? That's correct.
Any other G?
Bagada.
Bagada.
Kiki somebody knows a Gorodo.
Gorodo. Where's
Is
Gorodo?
there a place called Gorodo?
Where's that?
Oh my God.
The market in Gorodo. Okay, H.
There is no better.
Lọ́dún àti ìlà.
I said H, someone say Alausa.
It's even better.
They use oral English.
It's even better than somebody that said, I'll give you.
Okay, so that person will be Yoruba. I'm Yoruba.
Sure.
That's factor. Alausa. Oh, your oral English. Pronounce it. What you say now? I'm my colleague. I think it's in Sudan. Yaba, yes. H. Only.
There's a place called Wadi. In the same Lagos.
Lagos Island. Ah, beautiful. Any other H? Hollywood call. Hollywood.
They finish all the letters that have H.
Okay, so now to the I. It's black call. I mean,
What do you call it?
Ifeju is there now. Isaleko.
Ìjàyè.
You give me. I. Say. Ikeja. Ijesha. But there's one place that I would have thought would be the first. Ikoyi. Take right there.
Kiki, I discovered that nobody has mentioned.
Sorry, what do you mean Ijusha? What do you mean Ijusha?
You see, I said nobody has mentioned anywhere that has piano.
Ìyànà Pájà.
Yanopacha.
Ìyànà Etira.
But I know said something.
What's that?
There is no way on the island that has piano in front of it.
I don't know.
Piano, banana, is there no?
There's no place like that.
Ìyànà Sash.
Juro. That's
That's the Gucci.
Idiaraba.
That's the Gucci.
Oh, wow. What's the next one after I now?
J.
J. Jaconte. Jaconte.
What do you say? J. Is that ticket or yes?
I like my
What did you
my
say?
elder sister. She said Jaconte.
If you tell the conductor that you want to alight at Jaconde,
You'll get to it quick.
after you have this on me.
Okay, so Jaconte, where else? J. Chibu. Where else?
Somebody said Gianni.
Okay, let's go to the K. This guy say kiwi. No, let's please. Let's stay with free movement environments.
What did you say? Kaka walk is no like that.
Okay, so now L, Lekki, Lagos Island, Lakwe, Lakwe, Lawansi, Latimo. Mechanic can show you. Lagos Island. Okay, so I think we're going to continue from N. Yes, we need to move it. Wait till first, we'll continue.
Somebody is checking ChatGPT. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you're having a good time, put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So right now we're going to move on to the first panel session for today. This session is going to be focusing on fashion and tech. To moderate this panel, please put your hands together as we welcome to the stage Talagbe Martins. Please put your hands together for the gorgeous Talagbe Martins. She don't laugh good. Please put your hands together for her. Looking super stunning and gorgeous. Help the lady. Yes. This session is going to be focusing on fashion and tech. Like I said, culture in motion, the future of tech, fashion and creativity. And to lead that is Talagbe Martins. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together for Talagbe Martins, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Kiki. Thank you, Damola. Thank you to House of Sota and BHLA for having me. As they've already said, my name is Talagbe Martins, and I'm looking forward to a very interesting conversation. I'm going to welcome my panel members up. I'm going to take a speech first, and then I'm going to have them on stage. So I'm expecting Kola Oshalusi. Please give him a round of applause as he comes up. This is kind of a cheat code because 2 of the 4 panelists are actually like my guys, so we'll try to be very serious. Have a seat here, Kola. Thank you. And then we're expecting Victoria and Mosike. Please give her a round of applause. I'm also expecting, Olamide, and I want to say the full last name. Bear with me. Olamide, oh my gosh. The problem is I was sent Olamide Pay and Go, which I know is not correct. So, Olamide and Olabi of Touch and Play. Do bear with me, that was not a good start. But, and finally, I'm expecting Wahab. Yes, hi Wahab. You know, because Yoruba is tonal, and I wasn't given Wahab's proper pronunciation, there are so many things that could go wrong with it. So Wahab, you are going to say it correctly so that I don't make a boo-boo. But please, can you get a louder round of applause? Thank you, please have a seat. And Wahab is of the Good Thing Company. So please, a round of applause again. So look at my gorgeous panelists and tell me that they don't deserve another round of applause. So we're going to get right into it. I don't want to spend too much time on bios. I find that bios take a lot of time. So as I'm speaking to each panelist, I'll just be telling you a little bit about them as I'm asking them a question. So, Kola, you came first, so you're looking at the first question, okay? As I said, apparently, Victoria, one of the people who calls me a bully offline, so I will continue to be a bully in real life. It's okay. So, Kola is a Lagos-based fashion and lifestyle photographer, and to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like his lens has really shaped how African style is seen globally. I honestly think that deserves a round of applause just because of how critical he's been in the fashion space, Lagos Fashion and Design Week, so many lifestyle brands. And he's gone beyond that to found and convene the business of photography, which sits at the intersection of creative practice and commercial discipline. So to a certain extent, he's always asking a particular question. But I want to ask him that question and then we can go from there. So we talk about culture having global currency. But currency has to be earned, right? You can't assume currency. So when did you first understand that your images were in fact an economic asset and not just art? Yeah, I know, right? I went straight in there.
I literally sort of came with a mindset of doing business beyond that. But then earlier on, I realized while working with corporate, I was lucky when I came into the space. I was looking at the magazines, business style, manager, and the likes. And one of the things I was able to learn and see in those early days where internet communication wasn't this heavy. There was no social media. Those platforms were the social platforms. I realized how Africans and people were perceived based on the imagery they saw on each of those platforms. So for me, understanding that made me realize that even while working with each of those platforms, that every image I create has to shape a perception of who I was shooting or who I was creating with. So I mean, realizing that made it easy for me. So every project I started working on then, Lagos Fashion Week, Rise Fashion Week, I mean, name it, every single project then, to the manners, to the honors, and all that. I understood the power I had in teaching and directing the global perception of who we are as Nigerians, who we are as Africans. So I was intentional about every of those things. So I kind of found mine pretty early, working on those platforms. Yes, that's the perception.
Thank you for that. And I think it's really important when we talk about something that Kola has said, which is really powerful, is what images of Africa there are. Some of us, don't be fooled, grew up at a time when the standard image from Africa was a starving child. A distended stomach, the child quite literally backing kwashiorkor. And that was the pervasive image of Africa for so long. And I think, organizations such as this, magazines and publications such as the ones Colin has mentioned, and even when I think about it, things like Ovation and so on, spent so much time and effort and energy showing a different side of Africa. Right? I think we are here today because people started being so intentional about that. Victoria. Hello. What is the thing that you feel most fashion entrepreneurs get wrong about the intersection of culture and commerce?
Okay, so for me, it would be that ability to kind of balance and commerce. Okay, so I feel like creativity is never enough. Okay, so structure has to exist for it to be sustainable. Okay, so we're talking like operational discipline. You start thinking of things like customer experience, positioning. Okay, because at the end.
Because at the end of the day, we're not just exporting clothes, we're exporting perspective, we're exporting identity and culture on a global scale. Okay, another thing is seeing culture as limitation as opposed to seeing it as a competitive advantage. Okay, I feel like for us African brands, we tend to want to dilute our essence in order to be able to be globally accepted. Okay, so I feel like if you're able to balance creativity and structure, you should be able to cross over to the other side commercially. Thank you, Alex.
Makes the world works. But cash. It is critical infrastructure
out there continuing to push this narrative, but what are the actual operational structures that have to be in place?
very good question.
Okay, let me reduce the depth. Two things. Okay.
I think first thing you have to start with why. You have to define your business based on the identity you want to portray. If you're a fashion business, what identity do you want to take out there? If you are a skincare business, what identity do you want to portray? I think it starts with that. Then it also starts with, the second thing is that you also need to make speed part of the things you're going to be growing. Speed in the sense that how do you organize your inputs? How do you organize the infrastructure? Whether it is your small office, whether it is a warehouse you're storing the product, whether it is the logistics kind of it, speed has to be part of it. So I think on those two things, you can start to operationalize culture. And when you want to export culture, you want to export whether it is fashion, it is skincare, if you put this wide and speed, people get the product, and at the time that it is promised, payment is made, commerce is flowing.
Thank you. But you know what I'm hearing? You said the why and you said speed. Those really boil down to trust, don't they? Because the why is why someone will tap into, click on your website, choose your product, add to cart. They believe something, you've earned their trust. And then the speed is what will keep the trust, right? It's almost like that's the promise. They saw a promise, they tapped into it, and then the speed made sure that it happened. So those two, I would sum up as trust. And now I have questions that you will all answer, right? I tried to give you one of your own, and now you have the ones that are very germane to what we're talking about here. And I'm going to start from Wahab since he's already there. What does global mean to you? And before you answer, Victoria, I smiled when she was talking because it was almost like she read my questions, and she didn't. Because there's a version of going global that will often mean diluting your identity. So, Ashake's new album, I will confess, it took me a few tries because it was giving, this guy is not here anymore. This guy is on the I-95. There's no LASFA, there's no potholes. This track is giving, I don't live here anymore. A lot of the tracks were giving that, and I said he's been hanging out with Wizkid, a bit too much. So there is that version, right? That is, should we say, a bit more palatable, and there's a version where you dilute your identity, and there's a version where the market comes to you, right? What is actually achievable for African brands right now?
What I see is that there is a strong appetite for African products in the global scale. We take everything, take our music also. So what I see in terms of normalization is first to not dilute the identity. If it's Ashoki, how can you make it better? But not dilute the main ingredients. If it's skincare, Ori, how can you make it better? But not dilute it that is globally accepted. So for me, globalization is the full expression of our identity embedded in the products that we export. As our music is global, let our product also find an expression globally. That's what I see.
Thank you. And I would actually like to add on that. I would almost want you to reference it to your work. as you think about it, so that it's really tied into what you're already doing. For you to be here, it means you're already presenting that kind of face. Okay. But I'm skipping and I'm coming to Paula before I come back. Okay?
So I think for me, it's a very tricky question that took me a while to actually get to understand what the organization, especially for my industry where primarily foreign validation was supposed to be the main thing moving forward. But it took me a while to understand that everybody is unique. Africa is different. Nigeria is unique. I mean, almost everywhere across Africa is speaking English, especially West Africa. But Nigeria speaking English is Nigerian English. It's different. And understanding that when you realize that when you truly global, there has to be the you, the expert. There has to be the you identity in what you say. There's always the layer of the dictionary of the organization, which is being like a certain standard set by certain people. But till we begin to understand it, like I said, it took me a while to understand that what globalization means is for me to build my local products, build my local fan base, strong enough to the point that what I built, what I've expressed, is enough for the world to consume and for them to accept it. So I think for me that is real globalization. The understanding of who we are, understanding of what we represent as individuals and as a collective, and letting other people understand that as long as we retain who we are, the world will want to buy that. I mean, it's easy to think the world wants something, and it's interesting when you was using Ashake as a case point. What builds the Afrobeat narrative is simply because suddenly after a while, Nigerian artists started infusing their local persona into music. Now we're getting to that point that people are forgetting that what the world started looking for in Africa, Afrobeat, and that's why they call every genre of music coming out of Nigeria Afrobeat, or coming out of Africa Afrobeat. What they're looking for is what they don't have. We always gravitate towards what we're not. We want to be that person. What they're looking for that has made Afrobeat global is what they don't have, and that is who we are, our culture, our personality, our identity. So real globalization is you building yourself strong enough, telling your life. I mean, I like using that word. Telling your life so much that it suddenly becomes the truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, from me, I feel like the world now is towards authenticity more than ever. Okay, so when I see, you don't need to dilute, obviously, where you're from, your essence. All you need to do, what I feel we can do better is make it more globally resonant. Okay, so how will my adire, how will my batik fit into your morning coffee runs? And I just feel like we don't need to fit in. Okay? We only need to take what we have and make it more globally resonant. So storytelling, people don't just want product now. They want to buy pieces that have meaning, pieces that have like cultural depth. Okay, they want to know like what were you thinking when you made this print? Okay, so I feel like that's our competitive advantage as African creatives. We're very rich in cultural depth, creativity, craftsmanship, and basically all we need to do is make it globally resonant. That's what I see.
Thank you. Lovely.
Well, so I think that globalization is all right. For me, it's influence. The time that people started enjoying fufu, they call Nigerian by the way fufu.
All swallows.
All swallows fufu. And egusi was when people like me or the children start traveling out, schooling there, eating those meals and sharing it with their friends, and they see that, oh, this is good. Or they come to Ashake's concert with their friends or play it over there, they see, oh, this is my jam, it's really good. So it's basically always built around influence, around when people enjoy the same set of things and they feel like, oh, this is the jam. And that's when people start inviting to African music, African meal and all. But the sad thing, the missing piece that I still see is that Africa needs to be one. It's easier to do business with the Chinese than to do business with Senegalese that is even within the same West African region. We need to see, Africa is so fragmented. We need to, and we need to speak different languages. I was in Senegal a few months ago, I couldn't understand. We're using Google Translate to talk. Somebody would, write in French, translate it, show me, because I don't speak French. And we are within the same West African region. So we need to see Africa as one country, if possible, instead of 54 different countries, and then be able to take that identity and export it. Because it's the same Nigeria that you wear in Lagos that they sell. I bought some very beautiful designs from Senegal that we wear here. It's the same, but the coordination is not there. So globalization to me, we need to dissolve the fragmentation. We need to start by making Africa a country, be able to use technology to proliferate within ourselves, and then export that and use that to take over the world.
Thank you. I have one last question, okay? I don't plan to stress you too. And this one, I want a real answer, not what you think is going to be a sound bite, okay? If you one structural thing about the ecosystem, just one, what would it be and why? Wow. If you could rephrase states, which one? Rephrase, okay, so we know the structural challenges. And we've all actually them in a way. So when Olamide is talking about the challenges of trading within Africa, he's referring to logistics, he's referring to ease of movement, he's referring to ease of currency, but you will all have one that is affecting you more than the other, and I'd like you to identify which one you would change and tell us why.
Okay, I think what I'll change from my own perspective is the logistics side of things. There are stories of what I got, what I got. I've told you stories about, I heard this at this particular time and I was not able to get this particular thing. So if there's anything I will change right now is making that logistics aspect very fluid, less strenuous, and for the users, the buyers, the customers, transparent as much as possible, so that whatever we buy, whatever we purchase, we can get it at the time that we need it. I think that's one thing I mentioned.
Thank you.
And selfish.
Yeah.
These are the regulations.
Okay, which ones? Name one. Name one regulation.
So, if you are in Nigeria and you want to go and do business in Ghana, I run a private company that service transportation, for example.
Yeah.
The headache. I mean, you have your product built out, it's just to launch. And Ghana is just 1 hour away that we live. You can't launch. You need to deal with different regulatory requirements. You need to get this license and get the other license, and then it's really crazy. And the same with, I don't know if you've seen on social media the issue with South Africa and Nigeria saying that you can't own a small business if you don't invest 5 million rand and it must be regulated and all of that. It's crazy. And I feel that is really what is killing Africa. even a Dangote will not be able to get to an African country without intervention. So not everybody follows the president around to go and lobby within Africa. So the regulation on so many things are killing our business relationships. And I think that technology is here. We share the same identity as Africans. We understand, it's almost the same psychology of buyers that we have. Doing business among ourselves should be easier. And we are now even scoring own goals by making it, locking ourselves in and making it difficult. We will make it difficult for somebody like him that is already a legend to even get a visa to go to one African country that's not enough to Lagos in population. And all of that, when I think about it, it makes me go crazy.
So, you're spot on, but I think more importantly, if we're to actually expand on that properly, we'll see that there is legislation, because the Nigeria Ghana example you gave, they're both under ECOWAS. You're supposed to be able to move products, services, and people freely. And then we also have the African Free Trade Act, right, which has been signed and ratified. Nigeria was one of the late ratifiers, but we also have that. So there's the gap, the legislation and the practice. There's the free, but it's not being implemented. Okay, thank you, but I wanted us to be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think mine won't be one, it will be multiple.
No, you have to pick one.
I wish I could.
Okay, the one,
Yeah,
once you
so-
say one, I'm moving to
Okay, so for me, is when I say I wish I can, is I shape perspective. I shape how we're seen, and when I look at it, there's so much that is missing over time. And you need to do multiple things to satisfy the space I come from. One is the policies, which he mentioned, but mine is a bit different in terms of the fact that the industry, so the African ecosystem does not even understand the industry enough to be able to create policies that work. So from protecting intellectual properties, from protecting the rights, from protecting images, even when we've gotten to the level playing field of what artificial intelligence is bringing, we don't even have policies to ensure protection and direction, for my industry. That's number one. Number two is the trust factor, which is not even it's not even a policy thing. It's almost like a orientation thing. What is truly African? Are we still slaves? Are we still slaves to colonization? It's a big deal. There's the trust gap between people and government. So any issue in Nigeria, Nigerians will support foreign government against Nigeria. Nigerians will rather speak well of other countries than speak well about Nigeria. Nigeria will speak well of other continents than even Africa. And you see, when you look at it, that's what trickles up or moves up to how policies that are created are even implemented. Why an African country will say, yes, we want to create an AFTA or an ECOWAS system where trade can move between countries, but yes, you can't have visa between those countries. You understand? So for me, there's a lot. So from an image perception of, further deepening policies that need to be employed, to even how do we now start looking at recreating how trust is defined. So I don't think mine is one, mine is like multiple.
You're spot on, and
yeah.
I'm going to stop you because I let you have two. But I think what you just said about trust is interesting, because I think across trees there's also a difference in how we approach things. All of this said we're the same. I would say in some ways, but not in others. And I think, for example, Nigerians, we have the stereotype of being seen as aggressive, Is it a stereotype? It's beyond the scope of this panel. But, especially in commerce and trade, because a lot of us are. And it's funny, it's only because the people they meet are the explorers who, by definition, are going to be go-getters. Those are the people that have left the country. If you came here, you might have a different perspective. But, Victoria, to wrap us up, please, what is the one thing you would change? I mean, there are many, but pick one.
So just like it is quite impossible to pick one, so I'm going to add two together.
Oh my gosh.
Okay?
When they say that you people are rebellious now, you say you're not.
Okay, so for me, I would say access to funding, okay, and poor production systems. Okay, so for the most part, most of our processes are still very much manual. Most African creatives are still self-funded. We work with small teams, limited resources, yet we're expected to compete on a global scale. Okay, so for me, government needs to intervene. Okay, so we need more access to funding. We need obviously more better production systems. I'll give you a very practical example. Last year, we were at the WSN in France. So WSN is a trade show where you sell your brand to buyers, so wholesalers. So large departmental stores have Uniqlo, maybe Mona or Prangi and the likes. So if someone says this in maybe for size 10, UK 10, 500 pieces, UK 12, another 500 pieces, all the size ranges. Sometimes you get like 10,000 units for just one style. Where do you start from? So it's very limiting in scope when you don't have that liberty to dream bigger. Okay, so let me just stop there.
Yeah, so you can't scale because we are limited by capacity. Okay. So I want to thank you all very much. Please, can we give my panelists a round of applause? Because I think they've done very well to sort of bring forth the challenges, to talk about them. But I also think that there's a sense of optimism, Kara is going to the fairs and it back. You have a goal or what you're working towards. Olamide is trying to ease that particular friction. Perhaps said something that I actually wanted to pull out again. When you talked about the products and not diluting them, I think something that is also really important is provenance, where our products come from. People want to know, they're from. Can I have that one? We ought to be able to say, and you'll see this is happening a lot now. People can even say which farm. They can say the name of the weaver. And I think that's one of our competitive advantages, and I think it's something we need to lean all the way into. We have stories, and the truth is people buy from those stories. So I hope we've told you a good story this afternoon. Another round of applause, and thank you so very much.
I think they deserve a better round of applause. Please put your hands together for them.
We have pictures. They are there. So just thank you very much.
Together.
They spoke extensively on the connection between fashion and technology, and they gave very, very brilliant perspectives on the subject matter.
Yeah, let's have my question.
Yes.
Okay, over here. Wait to who is this auntie?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shade Malobi. Deserves a round of applause. Please put your hands together for her. Putting together.
That should be it now. People want to snap extreme. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Because boo-boo, I've seen the skirt. Mommy, don't forget to If our eyes should alternate, don't let our word alternate. Do you know what that means? Don't buy a Jew, oh my, fantastic. Love you so much. So right now we're going to have a fashion show. And this one is going to be for men's wear. We have men's wear later on, so don't worry. For those who are here, the fashion girls, the fashion boys, we have something for everyone here today. Now, the men's wear fashion show is curated at the House of Sota, of course, celebrating African fashion, craftsmanship, and cultural expression. I've seen a lot of people wear Ankara, Ashoke, and Akwete, and Dire, and I love it. Not to say that those that are not wearing, I don't love it too. Okay, they are wearing Guinea. Let me see.
It's called, what's the name of
So this one is show me. This one, do you know what they call show me?
We thank God for everything.
No. Show me is the copy expression of the original expression.
Alright, and I'd like to mention that we have an exhibition stand there where vendors are strategically positioned for made in Nigeria products. Please feel free to go there to get made in Nigeria products. We have the fashion exhibition stand just to our...
Yes. When we say fashion, we mean everything fashion. From clothes to shoes to bags to accessories, everything fashion. You know, I have the opinion that by this time of the world, every day of our lives, we should step out with a reminder of African fashion. It is not your fabric or your dress, it should be the hair. I mean, I see a lot of people wearing different types of braids. Like Madam Rocha here is beautiful. I really get to in her braids, it's beautiful. I mean, let us we should embrace Shuku and Bays. Bays and Cuff. Bays and this, Bays and that.
Police car.
The police car.
There's one.
The other one is giving guest college. Say? It's not But I mean, what I'm trying to say in essence is, this is 2026.
Yeah.
If there's something that we are doing every day is incorporating our culture into our daily fashion lifestyle.
Absolutely.
From the hair to the choice of fabric to the style. I mean, are we small?
To
We are not small.
Even to accessories.
Yeah, even to accessories. You know, so I saw a girl the other time. I dress literally had coverage on.
Yes.
That's very beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's very beautiful. Okay, so are we ready for the fashion show? Ladies and gentlemen, from the House of Sota, we present to you the men's wear. Thank you, DJ.
Enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen.
Osapa punya ulala ni shilu japa Orang jemput tak gini apa Anu lagi nonsense Anu lagi nonsense ya kubota Anu lagi nonsense ya kubota Suka la jaja suka Suka la jaja suka Sunyala suka Suka la jaja suka Back down to Lucifer. I don't follow but start to be Father na father. Say me I don't busy my ball. I want to focus on you.
It's all looking gorgeous. Have you seen anything you can actually wear? Let me start with Dennis. Daddy, did you see anything that you can actually wear?
Did you see anyone that you really like?
Of course, which one?
The first one.
I would bet my money on it. I knew he was going to choose the right one.
The guy who has...
Yeah, sweet, sweet. You know, I feel like the time will come when women become more men's fashion. Or should I speak for myself? Because now you see a few styles in the Buba and Shokoto that men wear, and I absolutely see myself.
I understand it.
Please just let us focus on the ones that concern.
Most times
Don't worry, nobody's about to.
Imagine Indian costume.
You can actually wear corset. Men wear corset.
You know, your spouse will tell you a lot of things. You know, if your wife is a pastor, you're trying to wake up for vigils, the one you can't for, the one she not can't for. She's the one who will tell you can't for. If she's a fashion designer, you have access to free food and you still pay for it. My wife is into fashion. So I perform three functions because of that particular reality. Number one function of the husband. Number 2 function, I used to be in the beginning. Number 3 function, in the management. She can just look at me and say, you look like size 10. Come and test this clothes. If it is made clothes, it's still good. There is nothing I'm not making.
No, she's not here.
I want concept and breathing well. They are doing social distancing.
Of course. There's pain in fashion. Now, men wear heels now. I hope you know that. Guys can't this room properly. I probably find the two guys wearing a pair of platforms.
There was a day that she showed a skirt and she said, don't touch this skirt. It was a free-flowing skirt.
So what did you feel inside?
So I totally forgotten I was wearing skirt.
Joy Lawa. Please let's put our hands together for her.
Can we make Joy Lawa feel welcome with a better round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
She's going to be giving us a message based on supporting creativity and innovation, importance of partnerships within the creative economy, and of course, celebrating House of Sota for 10 years.
Thank you very much. Good evening all. I think yes, it's good afternoon all. It's an honor for me to be speaking here on behalf of American Business Council, the voice of American businesses in Nigeria, also the representative voice of the private sector in Nigeria, to speak on the House of Sota's 10-year anniversary. For us, 10 years is a long time to actually do business in Nigeria. And it goes to show a deep commitment to impact, partnerships and the creative sector. We are proud to be associated with House of Sota, and especially given the work that's being done in the creative sector right now, which we see that the creative sector is actually pushing a lot in the entrepreneurship space, as well as pushing impact. The creatives are doing so much more in Nigeria beyond just the artistic flair. And for us, that is why we find this collaboration quite important, because we know that in today's world, you cannot do anything alone. And like people always say, if you want to go fast, you go alone, or if you want to go far, you go with others. For us, being part of this, supporting the creative sector for us is us supporting ideas and supporting young Nigerians doing great things. Also supporting the innovation space. I was talking to someone, I think some months back, and I said something. I said, 10 years back, I remember I was working in an organization that we always like to look corporate, dress corporate to work. And it was a battle for us to actually get them to agree that African fabrics are actually corporate. It took us speaking with HR for years, fighting this battle to say, we can actually wear African fabrics to the office, and it doesn't look like we are going for a party. And today, this was like less than 10 years ago, and today we see these things, out in the workplace. Everyone comes out looking all, I would say, ancrad up, and our adred up. But what we see, what has happened, what has caused this explosion, has actually been the work that has been done in the creative sector. That's what has put this out there, as well as collaboration, not just the creative sector, but also the business environment, to ensure that the business environment has worked for the creatives, has worked for the creative sector. We are glad to be part of this, and we would like to congratulate House of Sota for the magnificent work they are doing. And we look forward to going on this journey, for the next 10 years, supporting them and seeing ways in which we can ensure that we kind of push forward not just African, creatives, but the culture beyond the borders, beyond Nigeria, but also looking at how this comes to play a key role even in the bilateral relations that we push, that's between the US and Nigeria. So once again, congratulations, House of Sota. Congratulations. And we are really honored to celebrate with you and to be a part of this. Thank you very much.
Minus the soups that we're cooking, what else can they use to be used for? The example you gave about Gary being the exhibiting product, where in the market they don't need it, then just mill it fine so that it now becomes flour in that way. But that comes from the process of innovation, understanding, education. So I think that that's what is missing, just that cohesiveness in the industry.
Thank you. Before I start, I really want to see break. I'm just saying, just looking for it's not really good idea. But before I think I got lost listening to the before me, so I can't remember the question. So please help me.
The question is the role of innovation and collaboration tend to Africa's
I think we're afraid to work together. We think we're enemies. I think that's the problem. Even in a particular company that has a household of brands, they are afraid to work together. Everybody is an identity. So if there is no collaboration, there is no innovation, there is no growth. There is no visibility, there is no awareness, no one knows who you are. You are stuck within your ecosystem, or should I say within your compound, for lack of a better term. Unless we are willing to see ourselves as more than competitors, I don't know how we're going to go. And I'm not even saying the same, if you have the same brand in the same, trying to collaborate, same type of brand. For example, Pick Milk and Gary. I'm talking about food brand and music and fashion. And even fashion and agri. Why not? What is so crazy about having sustainable fashion? Why is it not the bigger thing? Because in the same Western world, they tell you sustainable fashion policy. Well, here, we actually do things by hand. We actually go to villages. My sister-in-law is in Canada business, so I see her go on those appointments sometimes to get something, a particular thing. I see her China process, and I'm like, why is this not one of the biggest things we have going on? Why is this not something that we are living, breathing, and sleeping? So same thing for the food industry. If we're not willing to collaborate outside of our comfort zone, I don't see how we're going to go. I'm talking about innovation too. I'm talking about when we're trying to plan an event and you're doing the same thing of do a setup, test my product and sell. Give me something. Give me a story, give me an imagination. Let me go home and dream of a product. And beyond what I'm interested in, let it be a lifestyle, let it be something that I want to tell my friends. Oh, I was at this thing, I wrote an event, and this brand came to me and said, oh, you brand did this.
Like
I came up with this. And sometimes more than coming up with
I just want me to finish this one.
I think the experience is also
Thank you. Still a question to you, currently. Riding in the back of collaboration, right, and positioning. So, how can small businesses position themselves to attract partnerships, also touch on that, FCM, FMCG, companies like yours? It's a two-more question. Also, with everything we're saying, there's still one major factor that ties everything, it's the funding part, right? How do businesses like Government scale up, apart from, I'm sure she's gotten innovation products to extent, but one major factor, I remember when we took some women outside the country, women that have been doing businesses for 30, 40 years, and they still have challenges when it comes to funding, in terms of scaling up, in terms of financial institutions supporting them, backing them, seeing this industry, this food industry, as a major contributor to the GDP of the Nigerian
small business to work in big corporations like ours? I think it starts with knowing your brand. It starts with your intellectual brand. It starts with understanding your operational processes. It starts with knowing what problem you want to solve. And it also starts with, you also have to be someone that is a brand that is compliant. So compliance is very huge. Because as much as you like to say, things are the way you do your head, but if they catch you, they catch you. So compliance is a very big deal. And also having ownership mindset. Like the founder has to think beyond what I found is also see like somebody that is sleeping within the production, also the consumer of the product. You also have to understand that if your operations are not standardized or they are not up to par with the company or the community, why should they support you? Because there are million and more brands coming to this organization who let the partner on you. And out of that million, maybe like 2 or 3 will stand out. So what do you stand out? A lot of FMCGs don't even, so a lot of smaller brands don't know why they're doing it. I use an example. I'm a huge fan of Big Yogurt and McDonald's. That's my point. But I've noticed that every single parfait business is the same thing. The parfait is soaked in the vanilla, but it's like 2-3 hours. Everything gets to me and chewing, soggy oats. I find it annoying. So why is somebody not thinking, how about I toast the vanilla, toast the nuts, add more than just 1 seed of seedless grape and 1 strawberry and 1 slice of kiwi and water? Why are you not making it? We think too small. We think like, Nigerians don't understand it. They don't deserve an experience. The only experience we're looking at people that are making specialized candies, specialized cakes. But we don't get into the everyday things that Nigerians are trying to get into. So why are we not standing out? The second question is, please don't on partnerships, sponsorships, how do they scale up? How do you buy? How do you get? I think it comes down to the same thing. It comes down to why should I sponsor your event? Because there are, I have at least I'm sorry, I don't have the sight or the time or the ability to recruit.
So what would it take to get the payback to the top? What are you looking for?
I think it's what are you doing? Who are you? What is your time? Oh, it's just you talking about it. I need to see the belly of what you're doing. I need to see how much energy, how much you have committed. Have you slept? If you are sleeping, then you don't need my help. Have you slept? I'm not saying kill yourself, but I'm just saying, how are you going to, what is the return on investment for me? Nothing to do with what's the name? Awareness. It has anything to do with if I manage my brand control, so I follow what you're doing. How are you going to not by each year you're going to live with the same problem? How are you going to utilize whatever help I need to? How are you going to push forward? That you come to me next year and say, oh no, it's not last year. You were this is where you want to be. And I'm proud of that. That's what you do. If the friend is already to say what's going on, then you can't tell me what it is. Sometimes the problem is beyond, so the situation is beyond just getting points. Sometimes it's
Thank you. Thank you. On that note, before we leave, I would want each of the panelists to leave us with one word when it comes to how you see the future of the African ecosystem. Let's say 10 years time, what do you hope you will be?
I think we've come a long way when it comes to African food in the diaspora. People are trying to afford their people are interested. So I think in 10 years, I hope and I pray that
Positive. I need that.
Yes, I hope and I pray that we are
we were further than we see ourselves. So whatever we're thinking now, I think in that 10 years, we're exceeded that expectation. That's
Alright, I think in 10 years, I'm hoping that there's more understanding of what else is possible within the industry. I find that a lot of people, they see chefs and want to be training and think that's all there is to food. Even sitting on this panel today, I learned that the byproduct of cassava, which I know for a fact a lot of people that produce dairy are not even keeping, it's possible to actually use that for something else. So I'm hoping that we see ourselves as more than what we're currently doing. I started out shouting I was an innovator because I knew it was the work situation. So I'm hoping that there are other people that are doing other things within the industry that actually take the story out more. And I think that will also help with culinary tourism as an industry generally. All the things that we can do. We've not explored culinary at all. We haven't done that. I think Afrobeats, fashion, everybody's doing. Every time you hear the praise of the economy, that's the first thing you hear. But food, the potential of food, I'm hoping that we explore it in years.
It's hard to have a conversation about 10 years because we're already late to the conversation. Africa has everything that it needs. We have all the resources, cashews, coffee. We have, but the problem is it's going to be exported and processed, whether we're involved or whether we benefit from it or not. The question is, what do we do now? We're already being left out of the conversation. Look at what's happening with cocoa. We decided that we wanted to process cocoa locally, so now they're working on lab-grown chocolates and lab-grown cocoa. We're already late to the conversation. In the next 10 years, all our food is going to be lab-grown and 3D printed. And then, there's no space for African agriculture anywhere else in the world. If we can start to fill in the gaps now, make sure that we become a real source of feeding the world. You were talking about organic, and I was going to say that even organic is late to the conversation. We're now on regenerative organic. Organic regenerative, like you just cannot be organic, you have to be regenerative. And then you can't just be that, you have to be upcycled. So the places we want to export to on a different level of conversation. And we have so much work to do. But we can do. We have to be more organized. We have to be more strategic. I was at the trade show in Korea last year, and we had conversations on how did Korea overnight become a leader in beauty, in skincare, beauty, and a leader in movies. It was intentionality. They put a room together of all the masterminds and said, this is what we're going to do in 5 years, and it was done. We can't do the same.
So let me go down to the grassroots view. One of the things that I foresee is that in 10 years, we would at least have advanced the financing gap. Last October, I was appointed a board member of the ACPSF, that's the Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme Fund. And sometime, I think 2 months ago, that scheme had been silent for the last 5 years. So we are the first set of board members in the last 5 years. And we realized that one of the things that would make a remarkable difference is if we go the last mile to the average smallholder farmer. I keep talking about them because we don't have food without these people. So one of the things that we've done is we are visiting quite a number of farmers, one-on-one. At our level, we're going down to the farms, asking the right question. And one of the things that will happen is that we won't have more funds to help them. You visit an average farmer and they're so passionate about what they do. But this is not translated to GDP or something because there is that blockade. They just feel that theirs is just to provide food. Yet we have to think of the fantastic value chain. You need things like the cold room, the structure. Some farmers can't even get their products out of their villages, town. These are people who will make a difference. So one of the things that we pray that we will definitely do is to ensure that we're going the last mile to the farm. We will be working with extension. That's another big gap that we have. There are no extension officers to guide and give these farmers the right knowledge. So if the city is waiting for food, it's because they're stuck inside somewhere. And that is why the ACPSF is planning to make that transformation. So I foresee that in 10 years, things might not be exactly that El Dorado, but we should have come out of this particular rut where we are. And of course, cooperation will be the need, not competition. You know, sometimes even producers are afraid of losing their labels. We want to white label a product, and the person is going, nobody will know me. But hey, you're going to make money from this particular transaction. And my own prayer is that those people who you would work with will be people who have come together to say, you know what, 5 of us are coming together to say, this is a product, and everybody thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Please a round of applause for my panelists. I think it was an insightful session. We learned a lot of things from non-working cycles to education, being king, right, and then positioning yourselves. On that note, thank you and good afternoon.
Body concentrate. Anytime, would I like to be?
Amazing, amazing. Please let's give them a louder ovation. That kids and those routine. I'm like, so when we enter this, we're like that. I'm a good teacher, don't worry. Now please check in your purses, check in your bags. Someone's her keys, please with me. The next one, huh? Rose key. Okay, I think it's actually, it's Rose Royce. This is a clean out key. So please, if your Rose Royce, your Mercedes, your Lexus is parked aside, you're looking at your keys are with me. And before you can collect this key, please bring your driver's license, international passport, NIN, YF, MECO, JAM, Junior YF, birth certificate, your mommy's birth certificate. You see the owner?
Grandpa ID card.
You know that I don't, it's not the key and low key. They don't go hand in hand. So you lose your key. You lose your car key. You can't, no, it's because it's this key, that's what it is. I know your type. But if it's another key now, you can only use your hand like this. That means I'll give it to you. So we've had the men's wear, we've had the women's wear. There's something special coming up on stage right now. And that will be the children's wear. I thought someone was going to put their hands together for that. Children's wear. You know, before I became a mom, when I travel, I shop for myself, buy shoes, buy everything, clothes, bags. And you know, my sister always accused that you travel, don't buy anything for anybody. I always sell it for my papa. I buy everything for myself and myself. But now, before I pick 2 things for myself, I already picked like 20 things for Nola. If I'm so crazy that sometimes, if I go shopping today, I pick something for Nola. If I go 2 days ago, I'll pick the same thing. So when I'm packing, I'm like, this short from Zam. I've seen it before, then I check the other suitcase, I find it inside. That's to tell you how excited it is shopping. They always look so cute. They will look cute. I mean, I used to buy 10 big tops, 10 little tops, what's this? But there was one time I go search in the airport, and someone was asking me, do you sell children's clothes? I said no, it's for my child. And I said, how many children do you have? So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we introduce the children's wear from House of Sota.
Don't jump down, no. Yeah, come back, go back, yeah. Nice. Voila. Now what they run?
So lovely, so nice.
petrol for man. Petrol for
It is.
but I've always loved passion, and like I said, I'm a very good I do love. And also, there's so much green in Nigeria. So this is nice to me. Because when I went into fashion, there are a lot of, I read a lot of good things on this. And so much to look for. We just have to contribute and work together to make things happen. And like I said, I always say, if we don't celebrate ourselves, no one is going to celebrate us. If you don't tell your story, as a matter of fact, nobody tells your story better than you. Passion.
Passion. Passion always has a way anyways, because without passion, you can as well just burn out. You also have a page I was in India with you last year. It was such a beautiful show of culture.
You also give me a person anywhere in the world. And I know a lot of people because I walk up to me to say, I love what you're doing. This is great. Probably I will just tell them it's made in Nigeria. Probably Africa.
This really put her hands together for her. She's an amazing woman. So she already threatened me that this should be long, so I'm not trying to make it up. Just one last thing, Now, we've seen a few of your designs. What is your inspiration? When I'm wearing Sota, I'm wearing out of Sota, what does that command? What does it say? What inspires the entire creative process of House of Sota?
So House of Sota is a retail brand for everyday casual. We added this gospel for this so I believe that you can wear your traditional wear to work, casual, parties, weddings too. So House of Sota reminds you that you are not people. Reminds you of your roots, where you're coming from. Last year in the first lady of Abia State showcased a book. She did a fantastic documentary on equality. And in that documentary, I found that this equality is being ruled by women from Abia State, in Abia State. Women in blue. And what inspires me was equality has been around for a long time. But right now, you see people making equality with jackets. And the first one of people, those are our rules. They want to wear it. They want to rock it. They love it. Because we have a store in the US. And I know how the country looks as well. And even when you have people who are wearing the fuse of Nigeria and Nigeria. That's what it is.
I've been looking at that boss and asking myself, I think the cost should be like 44 or so. Look at the waist is 32. So I was benefited. See, last one. We don't play the last one. There's nothing the last one in this time. So much. Please, one more time, we put our hands together for Prajana. Let's celebrate this woman. Please, can we all put our hands together for her, please? Let's celebrate her. Let's celebrate the woman that she is, the work that she's done, continually pushing culture, constantly reminding us where we're from, what we do. So, we're gonna have another dance performance for those that are just joining us. This is a team that I trained myself. Countless sleepless nights. I I was hell-bent on them getting this kind of routine. By the time you see it, you watch it yourself, and you're very, very impressed. And I said, I'm not shaking your head like this. You think I didn't teach them? No problem. Anyways, DJ, give us some music about the purple instrument.
Hey.